what is happening to Pokemon right now? Like, seriously, it is 2020 all over again. Ironically, I saw a trend online that people are trying to make it like 2020 again. So making short form content like it was 2020. And apparently Pokemon is doing the same thing, because in a matter of just a week, Pokemon went crazy with Prismatic Evolutions, and now the new set coming out in March as well too, Journey Together, that going crazy, where you have ETB boxes, Elite Trainer boxes that are normally $49.99 MSRP, going for $200 online. Some of them being $300. Booster boxes going for as high as $500. What? This is actually crazier than it was back in 2020 with, I believe it was like Darkness Ablaze and that whole set of cards early on where people were trying to get the VMAX Charizards and everything. Just like then, right now, it is a severe case of scalpers meeting FOMO, fear of missing out. I like to say that that is probably the major contributing factor to this. People want to sit there and be like collectors or card investors, and scalpers are, you know what? It is not one particular group. Usually, if I want to say right now, it's not, keep in mind too, there's going to be product available, but what I'm getting at is the scalpers are creating an artificial scare, in my opinion. Right now, the product doesn't release until March, but Pokemon Center just did like an early drop of like pre-orders you can do. And then obviously, because of Prismatic Evolutions, apparently the scalpers are speculating that the hype is back up again and they're putting it back on. Now, let me say this. I'm not going to claim to be an expert. I'm not well entrenched in the Pokemon collecting universe. In terms of cards, I'm actually not a card-oriented business, but we happen to sell cards and run events at the store. It's a small part of our business that we do it in, so I'm not an expert in that field. Now, I have a lot of friends who are, so I've been relying on their expertise and their analysis of this situation. And overall, we want to say, is this the same exact situation as 2020, or is it something similar, or is it a scare? And right now, it's all of the above. Right now, it's still unsure because sets haven't released yet. This is all speculation, right? It's just like when people were scared that, oh, is this a housing crisis again? Speculation. And personally, what I want to urge everyone in the community to do so is to just take a step back and do your research. There's a lot of other creators who are like my friend Pokey Rob. He is much more informed in this community than I am. Just go ahead and follow them, look at their videos, educate yourself on what to look out for. If you guys are collectors looking for specific cards, honestly, don't bother cracking open packs unless that is your pure driving force for being a collector in this industry, is to open up packs. It's going to be much more efficient for you to be able to just buy the cards. And historically, Pokemon has been this way. It is just cheaper for you to buy the cards straight up, especially during release weekend or even a little bit after the market kind of settles. Don't wait too long, but there's like a sweet spot where the market everyone has opened the packs. There's a huge supply in the singles market. That's the time to go buy your cards. I literally saw comments of people being like, people spending $400 or $500 for 20 or for 36 packs of cards. I spend $200 and pretty much get 90% of the set. And it's like, well, there you go. So just do your research. Do your research, hold back. No need to jump on it right now. And I'm going to tell you this right now. It is not worth you spending 6 times the amount of MSRP just to get this product. And it's unfortunate that this is happening right now, but ultimately everyone's going to react in their own way. Again, my own personal advice is to not go down that route. If you support bad behavior, it's just going to continue, unfortunately. And I hope that the stores, unfortunately, you can't control all the stores either. So all the local card shops and stores that are going to get the product, they're going to go one of multiple ways. Some people are just going to hoard it. You actually have some people who have already announced that they're not going to carry or sell the product. They do not want to deal with the aggressive scalpers and collectors out there, because in the past they have given problems. I've dealt with it before too, where it wasn't even just scalpers and collectors. Like my mothers and fathers that couldn't get they're blaming us. They thought we were hoarding it, and like we're just not going to be at the receiving end of it. And that's actually what a lot of stores are doing. They have a PTSD from what happened before, so they're like, hey, we're just not going to deal with it. Good luck out there. we're for the safety of our employees and people. So like, you know what? I can understand that. Then you have other stores who are just going to hold on to their product and wait until the market settles. Other stores that are going to scalp the product themselves. They're like, hey, we got it for cheap. Let's maximize our profits. To each their own. And then you have stores that are going to sell it at MSRP, first come, first serve, or selections, or to their members only, and so forth. We're going to fall into that category where we're actually only going to make it available to our local players. So if you're actually watching this video, you watch this part, I'm prioritizing our players at the store, which we've had a incredible growing player base of mainly new families. And I say families because it's not just kids, it's their parents, people my age who are now playing with their kids. It makes sense because now we are multiple generations of not just Pokemon fans, but card players and collectors. So it makes sense that the families are getting involved with each other. And so I have a lot of these families that are coming into my store. And you know what? I am not going to flip it for a quick profit online. Because what does that do for me in the long run? Does the extra money help me in the short run? Yeah, I'm not going to say no to that. But we're currently in our 10th year of business because I've always prioritized long-term community growth. Whether you believe it or not, that's what been our priority is. And so for me, this is another example of it. I'd rather make sure that we prioritize giving to our new players because ultimately I want them to experience their first pack openings in our store, and not just like their very first, but what I mean is if there happens to be in the allocations that I get, Umbreon comes in or a big epic set, right? Oh, epic pool. I want those kids to experience it. And to be honest, to be able to experience it, because of the pricing that it is right now, let's say it maintains, let's say March comes around, Journey Together comes out and it's in those crazy price ranges. Scalpers are going crazy at the targets. So these parents and families cannot get this product for their kids and they can't experience it. And then the local card shops, they're either focusing on profits or they don't get enough supply. So they just sell to it's first come, first serve. They still can't buy it from there. So they'll never get to experience that. So I want to do what I can in my part so that my local players, especially these families and kids, can experience this together at an affordable price point. And in terms of whether or not you want to say that's good business practice or not, in my business, that means that not only are they going to experience a good memory, but hopefully they'll come back and want to continue playing in the weekly events. And on top of that, they'll support us in future sets from there. And they'll also go ahead and buy other product in our store. And so ultimately though, to each their own, everyone's going to react differently and so forth. That's what we are doing. And I hope if another store happens to see this video, they take that to heart. As much as it might be tempting to make that quick profit right now, you're not investing into your own store's future in that regard. Now, another person might say, well, you can take the profits from scalping it and reinvest in the store. You're not wrong. But then that customer that you technically oversold to is going to remember that you did that. So again, to each their own. But right now, again, it's a severe case of scalpers, meaning FOMO and everyone going kind of crazy because it's a new set, evolutions and all that stuff, right? If you're still not calmed down, if you're still scared, you do you. At the end of the day, you guys are all grown people. You will make your decisions and so forth. I think a lot what me and a lot of other content creators and other business owners will tell you is just please take a step back. Take a deep breath, do as much research as you can, take some knowledge in, and then make the best decision from there. Do not just gut call spending 6 to 8 times. Don't spend $500 on a booster box. You can just buy the Moomier, but just buy some of the cards from that price. With that said, but hopefully this will all settle down sooner than later. But yeah.